Ladies and gentlemen, though this is a fun and frolicking episode looking back at different things that have happened on Around the Board, if you're listening via the podcast or any of our other sites and not watching on YouTube, just be advised that there are a lot of video clips that are going to be played and commenting on video clips, so you might be feeling a little out of the loop.
But check us out on YouTube so you can see all the fun.
Welcome to episode 53 of Around the Board, recorded on November 24th, 2024. This is a show where four board game enthusiasts discuss board games and board game topics. Today's show, we want to say thank you to all our wonderful viewers out there. We recently went over 1,000 subscribers, so thank you. And if you're watching and you're not a subscriber, well, shame on you. Like and subscribe, would you please? Today's show will be a little bit different. We have gone back through some of the moments of previous shows and some of the comments from you, the viewers, from those shows, and we want to shed some light on the good, the bad, and you guessed it, even the ugly.
Definitely.
So, without further ado, here are your hosts, Daniel Dude Connors, John Solo Cup Theismann, Chris Blossom Special Thomason, and Andy It's Not Easy Being Barnett. Now, join us, won't you, around the board.
Okay.
Don't ask me. I just read the teleprompter. I have no idea what the names mean there. Our behind-the-scenes Judge Randy has come up with those.
Right, but I'm going to jump in here real quick. Are we saying that I'm like the freak of the week on a Blossom special? Like I'm the kid that shoots the gun or has drugs or something? Because otherwise, I'm not sure what that would mean.
I have some insight, guys. These are all colors. Andy butchered mine. It was Abadi Abadoo. I am blue.
Well, he spelled it really weird, but okay. So that was
red. Blossom. What is the blossom color? Like pastel pink and blue and green or whatever.
Apparently orange.
Like the show of the game.
Orange Blossom.
Orange Blossom Special.
Okay.
It's a song. Yeah.
It's a country song,
well,
I guess.
Yeah, it's not a country song, because if it was a country song, I would know it. That crap that's post 2002 played on country stations.
There it is.
Not
Jelly Roll, baby, Jelly Roll.
Just like board games, Chris Thomason does not like country.
Andy,
I
should have been.
I love bluegrass. I love Western, but I do not like that crap they got on country stations today.
There we go.
And wait a minute, what was mine? I think
it was Better Dead.
Genre.
Andy, Better Dead, Barnett. Is that what it was?
No, it was not Easy Being Green from Kermit the Frog.
Oh, that's right. He's
Kermit
not
the
red.
Frog.
I'm red. My bad.
So I'm going to go ahead and actually hop in here and let you know that Randy is trying to make up for this by showing us on the teleprompter a music video on YouTube of this song, and I'm immediately back in, because why? It starts with a steam train, everybody!
Oh.
Without Randy knowing it, leads right into what I wanted to bring up today.
Here we go.
In honor of 1,000 subscribers, I did what I never do, and I backed a Kickstarter.
Show prep?
Now, this is not a promotion of the Kickstarter. I believe in my own life, all those different things, but I've done it, and it is called 18 Royal Gorge. I actually literally did this yesterday. It's a 4-player 18xx game that it says it'll play less than 3 hours, which I believe based on some of the details. But one of the cool things about this, it adds some more Euro mechanics than normal. Most 18x's is just a different map and some small tweaks to the rules, but this thing has a gold and silver market. The gold market increasingly gets more and more valuable until it just dies completely because the gold is just gone, the rush is over. And the silver market allows you to vary how many track tiles that you can play in a turn. But in addition to the companies themselves that you're running, you can invest in the gold and the silver market. So I was like very excited because it added some additional, like, it really changed the game, so to speak, right? Opposed to just a different map. I was like, I gotta get this. So
this Orange Blossom Special is by Johnny Cash. I just heard from.
Well, now I feel like a real, a bad word. Insert word of your choice that is pejorative here. That I did not know that, because that man's the man. He's right
shame.
You're right there.
So Royal 18. XX Royal Gorge? What's it called?
So, okay, well, I think I've talked about this on the show before, but yes, there's not actually just 118 XX games. There is actually more than that, and then when the community realized, hey, we only have design space for 100 games, we need to change the format here. So now many of them are just 18 and then a word. So there's like 18 Royal Gorge, there's 18 Chesapeake.
So this one will be called 18 RG.
I mean, it could be, but the way they put it on BGG is actually the full name. But yes, I see what you're saying.
On a completely unrelated note here, because I didn't think I would need it, I didn't get my boring sign. I just letting everybody know.
I saw it in your eyes, John, and I saw you're looking for it, and I was like, oh, he ain't got it. Let's go.
Well,
so what's your favorite 18 game?
My favorite 18XX game?
Is it 18 and older?
Oh, well, most of them are. Yes, you can play them younger than that, but it's difficult. So.
Oh boy,
18 BL.
Does 18 Royal Gorge, does that take place in the Royal Gorge through Colorado?
Colorado, correct. It is a Colorado map. Well done. Good on your history / geography, Andy. Good job.
I wonder if this is done pre the big fire they had out there a few years ago or after the fire, because
I mean, if it was a few
changed
years
quite a
ago,
bit.
it was after.
Well, it was 1800s, Andy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, then it was before.
It came a little before.
So there were no zip lines yet, is what you're telling me. Okay.
I'm glad we got that cleared up. But hey, to get into the heart of this show, let's go to the first clip, because Chris was all anti old man with country music, and it's very on brand for Chris, to the point where he has a very affectionate name for our beloved Tom Vassell called Board Game Jesus. And we've said it a lot, and we know that, but I don't think many of you guys know that there's also a Board Game Judas as well.
Yes.
And this came many episodes ago, and let's see who actually is Board Game Judas.
And was that the origin of Vassall's nickname? Like, was it that moment that we came up with it, or I think it was later.
Probably.
That was your doing.
What nickname have you give Tom Vassall?
Yeah, what is his nickname, Chris?
All right, so I didn't know we were going to get into this here today, but all right, so I refer to Tom Vassall, as Board Game Jesus. And the reason for that is because people can't not care what this man has to say. I like him a lot. He's seemingly a great person. If I'm looking for a board game review, no question about it, I'm looking for his reviews on the Dice Tower. I love his format, all those things about it. It's great. But people are like, oh, well, I played this game and I enjoyed it. And then people comment like, but Vassall said. It doesn't matter what Vassall says. He's just a man. It doesn't matter. But people treat him like Board Game Jesus, and so I call him that. All the fanboys like Daniel are stupid.
That was the sound of you being struck by lightning, speaking such a blasphemy, Chris.
Speaking against Board Game Jesus.
Well, anyway.
Maybe I can get the moniker of Board Game Judas. That'd be great.
Ooh, I like that.
Or just yesterday's Judas.
Yesterday's Judas.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, you know what, guys?
Still my favorite term.
You know what?
Do we have the origin of yesterday's Judas?
I don't know what the origin of that is.
Yeah, I was trying to find the first time we called him Board Game Jesus, and I found that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how have we not remembered that Chris is Board Game Judas?
That's right.
Because you 100% are. I was like, most of our lost subscriptions on the show and our negative comments directly involve Chris's bad mouthing of this hobby.
It's true. It's true. You've done more for and against our show than anybody else, Chris. Congratulations.
I always try to do more harm than good, so.
There's no bad
That's
clicks.
all we can ask.
That's right. See, this man knows what's going on.
Yeah, here's one of my here's my favorite. We probably lost this guy as a viewer. Okay, so this was in our Dice Tower Awards episode 45, and it was from a guy named Sean Molly. He says, "Gotta love a guy calling his community uncultured while he sits in his mother's basement surrounded by action figures. Thanks to the rest of you for at least a somewhat intelligent conversation."
You know, it's funny.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't stick around.
Funny you brought that up after that clip, because while watching that clip, I was like, oh man, my background game was not that good back then. Like, I did not have as many figures and stuff. It was just, there was a lot of space, and I was just like, oh, not the good. But yeah, now it's a lot better.
That's funny.
I think I heard your mom yelling there, Chris.
She did. She's making my grilled cheese. I'm very excited.
He has the meatloaf done.
Yeah.
I do love that you have the most like basement like feel down there too, and several people have accused you of being in your mom's basement recording.
I'm in my basement, so you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair that's the question that our fans truly need to know, Chris. Do you actually live in your mom's basement?
I do not. I do not live in my mom's basement. And it's not like some weird technicality that it's my house, like they've passed on and I just took over their home. No. This is my own home with my family and stuff like that. I live...
You're a proud homeowner. It's the American dream.
I am indeed. Very happy. Very love my home.
You would never mortgage it for more board games.
Absolutely not.
Chris wouldn't. No.
Now, Daniel might.
I'll mortgage his home for more board games.
I did. I might.
I did. What? Whoa.
What? Who? Well, I am in
Daniel
the
works
second
at a
mortgage
bank.
game,
He could mortgage any of our homes if he wanted to.
That's
Correct.
right. I know how to. I guarantee you, all of you guys' mortgages are on the county. I could just call them and be like, "Hey, can I have Chris Thomason's mortgage?" And they'll go, "Yeah, here you go." 100% true. Not making this up. It's actually a scary fact.
Fair.
Yikes.
Fair.
God.
And not just me. Any of you can do it. Try it.
Wow.
I'll check that out.
All right. There you go. All right. Well, since we are on the bandwagon here of talking about Chris, I think I have a few more things to show of Chris here. This had to be one of my favorite moments, and we actually get in a habit of dressing up in this show fairly often. I don't know why we decided that we would do this, but this started it all, and this was by far the best one that we've done.
Chris, you're obviously Darth something.
No, I would actually be Sting.
It's Sting! How did it get there?
I will admit, I do kind of look like Sting, the wrestler, if he got fat and joined Kiss.
There you go.
I gotta admit, but hey, it's all good.
All right.
Yes, Chris outdid himself on that costume. That's for sure. That was for the
You
guy
know,
that
I tried to paint my face like one other time in my life before that, and I remember it being like a travesty and be like, this is way more work than it should be, and I don't understand how people are able to get like detailed lines and stuff like that. I remember thinking that before actually doing it.
It's called contouring.
Yeah, when I was just like, hey, I think I'm gonna try to be Sting, I'm gonna do this thing, I was like, all right. But then I was like, again, I thought about all the time I did before, I was like, it didn't go well. But I was like, oh, I see these people all the time on Sunday, like they've got the intricate face painting, and these people all can't be like incredible makeup artists. So like, I don't get it. How's it possible? So I was like, I got this. I mean, it turned out okay. It was not my best work, but it was memorable and a lot of fun.
Where are you going on Sunday? Like WWE
yeah, exactly.
stuff?
That's what I was wondering.
Chiefs
Is
games?
this your worship team? That shows
Chiefs
up?
games. Chiefs games.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Chiefs games.
I was like, where are you seeing a lot of people with face paint on Sunday?
I'm thinking of Tammy Faye Baker doing the worship.
That's fair. That's fair.
Chris's church is TBN.
Well, like I said, we like to dress up, and we have a lot of them. Like there was the Western episode where we dressed up, a couple of Halloween's episode, and then there was the Wonder Wars. What is it called? The
Wonderland Wars.
Wonderland
yes.
Wars. Do you guys remember dressing up for that episode?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look.
Wow, Hey, thanks guys. for that, Andy. Yeah. Did we miss a memo about dressing up, Andy?
You sure did, you jerks. Before we left our planning meeting, the plan was, I said, I've got a Mad Hatter outfit. I can do that. And then they were like, I'll find bunny ears and cat ears. And Chris, you were going to be in a blue dress. I'm really disappointed in that.
Yeah, I forgot at the cleaners. It was, man, I'm real beat up about it.
But you know what? We're glad you went through with it because this is great. I'm glad no one gets to miss that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, you can always count on me to be the fool.
There we go.
There you go, Andy. Hey, it could have been worse if you were the one in the blue dress.
You're always
That's right,
reliable, Andy. Always reliable.
Old Reliable Andy. That's what they know me as. Nowhere. So
how often do you wear that costume, Andy? We need to know.
Every time I play Wonderland's War. Is it that, or I get out my Jabberwocky costume?
Yeah, it's a cosplay event, that's for sure.
I like Jabberwocky. I like that idea.
Yeah.
How many times have you played Wonderland's War? That was a contentious episode we had there.
I still hold up. If I had to look right now and guess in my logs, I would say probably 10 times, 10 or 12 times.
It's been a while since you brought it up, though.
I played it probably a couple months ago. It's fun. Okay. I still like it a lot.
Yeah,
you guys are fools.
Play it again.
I'm impressed you played it that many times and are not in deep depression.
Well, that's unrelated to that, but yeah.
Yeah, that is infamously one of Chris's most hated games, Wonderland Wars. You can go back and watch that entire review. But it's not. He does not have as much of a seething hatred about that game as he does about Challengers. I want you guys to see this one and relive this moment.
This game is effectively a re-implementation with a very small amount of agency of choosing cards between matches of the game called War. Now, War has been around since they don't know on BGG, and there's currently, now granted, some games don't have enough ratings, so they don't actually pop up on it because you have a certain amount to even qualify. There are 4 games rated worse than War on BGG. And this game is effectively War with a small variance because you choose some cards between one round and another. And somehow, there have been enough stupidity in this world to take War from 25,026 up to 1,271 with a game called Challengers, where the challenge is to have fun.
Oh my gosh. The best part about that is 100% Chris. That is not hyperbole. That is
he hates
his
it.
honest reaction to the game Challengers. Yes, which the rest of us pretty much loved. But
yeah, like I'll routinely tell people that like the way we do the show is like we are ourselves. We just turn ourselves up to 11. But that's not even 100% true about me, because I turn myself up to 11 on a regular basis. But so yeah, like 100%. That was just me being like, I don't understand what is going on.
For the longest time, Chris thought we were trolling him, that nobody really likes this game. This
Absolutely.
is a big joke on me. There's no way people like this game.
That really is a real thing. Like, I really was like, they must have gotten together, and like, they're just a long con trolling me here.
So I will say in hindsight that it was a flash in the pan game, very much. You know, it was a game that, you know, it was fun once, but...
Yeah, we'll tell that to our friend Kent O'Connor. That dude loves the game. He pulls it out anytime he can. And I would play it at any moment. It's so much fun. It's a fun little quick game. It's great for a party. Like 8 people can play at once. It's wonderful.
So this is an inside baseball thing, but have you seen Kent want to play the game without me in the room? Like I think he does it just I think he still thinks it makes my skin crawl. When in reality, I'm kind of like, whatever. It's a waste of my time. But if this is what we want to do, fine. It's a great game. It's a great game when you have like 8 people. Sure, why not, right? But like, I think he actually low key tries to do it just to mess with me.
All right, so before we'll move on from Chris here. I got one more thing. So we've been ragging on Chris, but I will tell you this, Chris. We have one Chris fan out there. One Chris fan. His name is Nubbins. Nubbins86. Well, the only one that's actually come out and admitted it. I mean, it would be.
I understand they'd be ashamed.
Yeah. So this is from. Yeah, I mean, sure. So this was from episode 45 from the Dice Tower Awards. He says, "It's official. This is now the second most listened to board game podcast for me. Chris sealed it with his rant against the dumb categories of the Dice Tower Awards. This hobby needs more gatekeepers."
You come to the right place. If that's the case.
I know we're making a joke here, but I do want to interject. I really don't try to be a gatekeeper. My whole thing is I don't understand why our community has to change, right? Like it was X. I joined because it was X, and I really, really, really like X. Now we realize, hey, we might like more people might if it was Y instead of X. So let's just make it Y. But no, I like X.
Well,
why?
It's called progress, Chris.
Well, Chris isn't really a gatekeeper because occasionally gatekeepers let somebody in. So
that's true.
That's true. They occasionally open the gate, actually.
Yes, that's occasionally.
Gate locker.
Gate locker. That's more like it.
Are you? You are the key master. What can we say?
Exactly.
Well, you know that Dice Tower Awards episode, it was a pretty fun episode, and we got a lot of subscribers for it and views, but we also lost a lot. But the biggest thing that came from that is that Tom Vassell was actually saw that episode and wanted to be on our show. And because we got to 1,000, it was actually largely due to that Tom Vassell episode. I got like 150 subscribers from that, so that just pole vaulted us right over that 1,000 limit. So again, thank you guys. And at this point, we haven't mentioned this, guys. We are going to do be giving a contest. We're going to do a contest.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so to continue this momentum of subscribers, we want to thank you guys by giving you some of our favorite games. So every 200 subscribers we get to this point, we are going to pick one winner to win one of our 4 favorite games. And I'm putting them kind of on the spot here to say what their favorite game is, okay? So I am going to give away Marvel Champions. Not my copy. We'll provide a new one. But Marvel Champions, that'll be the first game that we give away if we reach 1,200 subscribers. Then if we reach 1,400 subscribers, Chris, which game are we going to give away then?
Another game. I'm going to be honest. I kind of spaced out there for a second because I knew what you were talking
about. Your favorite game.
If you're talking about mine in particular, then
yes.
Okay, I should have just gone with it because I thought that's what we were talking about. Regardless, yes, and see, this is what's great about this $1,000 subscriber episode is
Chris is giving away $1,000.
That's right, it's $1,000.
You heard it here first.
I will give you $1,000 of money from the game that I'll actually be giving away, which is Power Grid.
Fair enough.
That's right. And then if we get to 1,600, is that the next? Yeah, 2, 4, 6. John, which game are we going to give away? John doesn't have a number 1 game.
How much does the base Uno game cost?
Come on, at least
you cheapskate. You cheapskate.
I think when I did my list, I did remember what was number 1, and at least it was when I did my list. I don't know if it is anymore, but we'll go ahead and go with that. And that is Brian Boru, the High King of Ireland.
Yeah, I like that one too.
That's a shocker. We should have waited until we actually did our list for that. I don't know if people knew that about you. How much you like?
You'll never get back to it, so we may as well just throw it out. And maybe it'll be a different number 1 by then. So.
All right, and then when we get to 1,800, Andy, what game are they going to get?
Well, it depends if it's out of print or not. If it's not, I think it's going to either be... I have to go back and look at my list. It's either going to be Heaven and Ale or Raja of the Ganges, probably.
All right. Well, cool.
I thought it was going to be a Feast of Odin.
Or it could be Forum Trajanum, or it could be Terraforming Mars. I'll have to go see.
Really wish I had that boring
That's
sign.
right.
What'd you say there?
Nothing.
What was that, John?
Nothing about my boring sign. Nothing at all.
Everybody's going to be most excited when we get to 1,800 there, because that's when they'll get the good game. The good game. The good one.
Most anticipated at minimum.
There you go.
Yeah, push on this show. Share this show. Tell your friends about it. Let's get up to 1,800. It took us 2 years to get to 1,000, so let's not wait 2 more years before we get to these next milestones.
Please, we beg you.
Yeah, or maybe we can just have Tom
next...
Vassell on again.
Daniel's the next Mr. Beast.
That's right.
That's right. And next, we're going to give away a car. Matchbox car.
There you go.
Board game Mr. Beast.
A Matchbox car. All right. Well,
how do people enter the contest?
We didn't really. You got to leave a comment on this video or maybe a future video where we also remind people about the contest. So all you have to do is type contest in this video or just comment. Don't type contest. Give us an actual comment. Give us a comment for our next 1,000 subscribers.
Blah, 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 contest, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. All right. And then, we'll keep making these announcements, and every time you guys comment, that will give you another entry. So actually, there you go. You can have multiple entries. We're going to reward you for continuing to listen to the show. And don't worry about it, Andy. I got this covered.
Somebody's going to write 1,000 comments on this video now.
Oh, well,
we'll find out.
Okay, fair. One entry per episode per person. Sure. Whatever. I could change the rules. It's our game. We're just giving things away. So.
I love it. Contests on the fly.
It's a good thing that Gen Con isn't next weekend, because we know that the rules would completely change as well if Gen Con was next weekend.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right. Well, guys, let's get back to our clips. And I do got to show this one. I guess this one is a little bit more of me. So,
what?
So, yeah, I know, right? Well, first of all, I'm going to read a comment from one of our friends, Joe Coleman. He's Baron the Bear on our comments if you ever see him. And he says, it's so cool to see Tom Vassell on your, that was a great sport and probably one of your guys' best shows banter-wise, and it was super fun. I really messed up the editing there. So anyways, so thank you, Joe. And also thank you for continually commenting and being engaged in our thing. We really appreciate that you watch all of our shows. And that was super cool. But I want to show you a clip from the Tom Vassell show, because I said something and it really needs to be addressed.
Yes.
We've not gotten more comments about a subject than we have right here, and that is my misunderstanding of the old art form 8 tracks. Art form? Music
media.
Form?
It's a type of media, Daniel. Media.
Thank you. You can cut me off, guys.
Wow. Is that abstract or is that 8-track?
Sometimes it's just fun to see the train wreck happen.
Correct. Just watch it in flames go by.
Yeah. I get that, and this is actually why it's a little bit of Chris, because this will show that Chris actually realized they made the error live. So let's listen to me being an idiot and Chris's reaction.
What do you think? Huckleberry Finn's 8-track adventures from 1980. Daniel, believe it or not, buddy.
Initially, I was going to say no, because there's no such thing as an 8-track, and I realized you were saying A-track, like the cartridges from the 70s. So yes. I'm like, okay. So yeah.
As it was happening, I was just like, what is he talking about?
Yes. And I'm the one running that segment, and I'm like, I thought he just got them mixed up. Like, he thought I said 8-track, but it's 8-track. I thought he just said them in the wrong order, because then he even said the cartridges and everything. I'm like, well, he knows the cartridges. Surely he knows it's an 8-track. He just said the wrong ones at the wrong time. He thought I said 8-track, but then he went on and said 8-track later. So I'm like, oh my god. But at that point, Vassal's on the show and everything. I'm not going to just lay into Daniel, so we just gotta let it go.
Absolutely. If Vassal was not on the show, I would have not been so gun shy. But like, since he was on the show, I was like, all right, not that like I really like bow down before board game Jesus, but I really don't want to look stupid in front of him. So I was like, well, I'll just let Daniel look stupid. And if he's right, great. If he's dumb, then cool. But if I call him out and I'm wrong, I'm going to look really stupid. So I was like, I'll just let it go. And it was also, I was so confused. I was like, wait, like my whole brain was like, is everything I knew in the world like been different this whole time? Right? Like one of those, like the world has been a lie all this time.
It's the Mandela effect.
Yeah, it was
just
wild.
replace A's and 8s on everything. So the card game is Crazy A's.
Crazy A's.
That's right. It's Super A Hotel.
That's all sound pretty bad.
I just love that. You guys have been around me enough. I feel like it's the what's the hostage where you fall in love with the hostage? What's that called?
What? What's it called?
Oh my gosh.
What is that called?
I had it and I just lost it.
Something syndrome.
Yeah. Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. I love that you guys, I've essentially given you guys Stockholm syndrome with me. It's like my words are so bad, but I say them with such confidence that you're just like, well, maybe he is right. Like, why would you guys ever believe me over yourself? Like, come on.
If Vassal wasn't there, it would have been a whole timeout. Wait a minute. What are we saying here? That would have been, a whole deal.
Speaking of timeouts and me butchering things.
And the winner is Robin Dashalino.
What?
Hey, congratulations.
What?
What'd you call him?
I don't know. What's his last name?
I think it's Robin Carol Dolce.
There you go. Him. That's who won. Good job, Robin.
I remember that moment being like, wait, what? What kind of name is that? But I can't like call him out if it's really someone's name. Or I'm a really bad person.
Chris didn't know who the winner was. Andy and I both knew it was Robin Carol Dolce, a friend of ours, a friend of the show. Right. Chris is like, yay, way to go, Rob. You know,
I gotta roll with this and congratulate him. I can't call him out for having a dumb name.
Yeah.
He's actually Robin, who's a friend of all of ours. I was like, that's hilarious. That was amazing.
Yeah, and Robin still remembers that moment. He watches our shows fairly often, so he'll appreciate that. I think he's declared that was actually his name now. I think he had it legally changed in honor of my slip up.
Nice.
But I will say not all of my slip ups are bad, because I want to find the clip of this, so I'll put it in post. But Nubbins86, I think we've already had one from him today. He said on episode 49 on our Heat review, he said, crown is pronounced crayon. I just had this discussion at church, and everyone was wrong except for me, and it sounds like Daniel. Though maybe that's not a good thing. Like Daniel the Liar, I also enjoy pick-up and deliver games.
Like Daniel the Liar. That's great.
That's awesome.
My favorite moment of yours, maybe it's not, maybe you don't have this clip, but maybe you can find it, is when we talked about one of my favorite games at the time, which was Endeavor.
Is going to be in Denver. In Denver.
In Denver?
In Denver? How do you say that? I can't say it.
In Denver.
In Denver.
Are you serious?
No, it's not in Denver. It's Endeavor.
Endeavor. I'm going to play Endeavor. That's right. All right. It's a game that Andy has actually been bringing out.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get out to Colorado to see that. Get that played.
Play some 8-10 roll while you're out there.
You know, I still haven't played that game, Andy. I know you love it. And I think I am actually at this point, I am holding out on playing that game in Denver. I can't play it anywhere else but in Denver. I might mess up some words, guys, but I will say our top 10 shows so far have been awesome. If you haven't watched one of our top 10s, I think we have a really clever format for them, and they're super entertaining.
I know the perfect game. Because America, depending on who you are, has positive, has negative emotions. Am I not right? Same thing with this game. And that is from 1980s. No, it's Trump the game. And what is more America?
No.
And
what have you done?
What could be more divisive than Trump the game?
Like, I appreciate the hustle, but what have you done?
The worst game.
Trump, the game may have a 4 rating on Board Game Geek, but that's just a bunch of losers trying to play pretend in their mom's basement. Don't listen to those haters. Believe me when I say that, Trump, the game is tremendous. It'll make your head spin faster than Rumpelstiltskin on roller skates.
Now you have to play it. Exactly. You have to wallow in all of our misery, John. You did this.
But for whatever reason, Andy doesn't want me to have any games on the list at all. And the fans of our show agree with me. And overwhelmingly in the comment sections, we get the comments of how in the world did Daniel's game not make it in or whatever. So here's one from a couple. This one is from The Ripples For Me, which is actually Kelly, our friend Kelly, who was on the show on episode 50. This was from our Taylor Swift top 10 episodes. He said, Daniel, you absolutely were robbed of your obsession choice. Each mechanics, hold on. Easy mechanics, and I think she would love the theme. So yeah, and I still can't believe you guys vetoed Obsession. There is no better game on a Taylor Swift list than Obsession. And I still feel robbed by it. And that's right. And I will have my revenge.
I assume that was Andy that vetoed that one. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that who it was?
Of course it was Andy.
Yeah, because there's no other reason to do it.
I think you just got done vetoing Skull King, and so I was not in a good mood. Obsession.
Yeah.
By Dan Halligan.
When you shot yourself in black and white on the beach?
That's right. Playing it on the beach in the sand.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, guys, let's get your votes. What you got? I think this is going to be my first one on the list. Come on.
No, Andy likes to veto yours.
Oh,
I hadn't approved. Everybody else was in approve.
Andy, you're so vindictive.
I am very vindictive, and let me just say this: since you hosed me, I had to hose you back, and we are never ever getting back together.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Oh,
in the
come
words
on.
of Taylor Swift.
So you gotta tell us.
This would scare her
I got
off.
it. You didn't get that reference? Come on, guys.
No. I don't know
That's
music
ridiculous.
very well.
That's like one of the most famous references that
songs.
people use about her all the time.
Even Chris got it, guys. Come on.
All I know is I'm
Did you
excited
really
to go
put
on
Skull
tour with
King
her
on that
and
list?
play Snake
Oh no, that wasn't on that list.
Oh,
what was it?
Red 87.
Red 87.
Oh yes.
I think that's
Travis
when
Kelce
you called him. I think that's when you called him vindictive, and I said Andy put the in vindictive. But I don't know if many people heard that.
Nope. I don't know if I removed that one or not.
I think Chris and I are the only ones that heard it. We had a nice little chuckle with ourselves.
Indeed.
Yes. All right.
Best
well,
part of all that
also
is it turned into where I'm going on tour with Taylor Swift and playing 18xx with her. So
that's right. That's the way that was. Still waiting to hear back, I assume.
I mean, her guy's calling my guy. We'll get it figured out.
That's good.
I also had loved somebody who mentioned your pick for Pandemic and Taylor Swift. They said that. Yeah, they were like, but doesn't she have an issue with commitment? So maybe that would actually be a really bad pick.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Send your hate to Daniel at outtheboard.net.
Yep.
One of the episodes that is our favorite episodes is the Power Grid episode. We've dubbed it our favorite episode, so make sure you go watch that. But one of the best comments came from that show, and it's from Elena 2. Yeah, there we go. And it says, and this is in reference to Andy, okay? It says, I don't know why you guys are complaining so much about simple second grade math. Power Grid is an amazing game, and the American map is the best map. This was actually a twofer. So, Andy, do you want to defend yourself for your hatred of Power Grid and its math?
Nope. I don't want to defend myself in the least. I still don't like that game. But again, I haven't played anything but the American map, which Chris tells me would change my mind tremendously still.
Right. So. It's the worst one, and you need to play with some different people. That's what I think. Okay. And then, but the real question, the real thing is, I know the comment here is about that it's too much math in Power Grid, and there is math in Power Grid. But the real thing is, Daniel, what is the game that Andy said there's too much math and there's like zero math in?
All right, Fox Experiment. I'll get to this very quickly, and I don't have a whole lot to say because it sucks.
Here we go.
It's not good. The main mechanic of the game is order fulfillment, and I've got so many games that do order fulfillments. I could play Potion Explosion. I could play Splendor. I could play Century. I could play what's the game where you mix the Einstein? Is it where you mix you have the little vials where you have the balls and you have to get them in the right
Eureka.
order?
Dr.
Potion Explosion.
Dr. Eureka. There's so many. Wingspan kind of falls into this category too for me because you're just collecting resources to do this thing, and it's so freaking boring. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. It's too mathy, too boring. The best thing about Fox Experiment is that you get to name your foxes, and there's that, which John and I had a fun time with because we started naming.
More of a feud is what we had.
It was a feud. We started naming our foxes after like each other and then our wives and stuff, and but adding like derogatory things on the names of the foxes, and then we bred them with terrible qualities. So yeah, that was fun, but that's about it. As far as the theme, again, it just feels a little bit slapped on, to be perfectly honest. It's fine, but
wow. Okay.
Not a fan.
I want to jump in here real quick first.
Go ahead.
I want to say, Andy, okay, I'm going to jump in as your life coach here, okay?
Oh, go for it, yeah.
I love math in games, so that's part of the reason I play them in the first place. So there's that. I understand that. But I got to be honest, you lose all credibility on your viewpoint in this game when you say there is too much math. I'm not sure there's actually even math in the game.
Well, okay, there might not be math. It's more just about counting things.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to have three dice.
No, it's like I got to look over here and I go, oh, I need one of these and it's pink and blue. And I don't know. There's just too much math. It's not like deep math. It's like,
it's
like
not math.
Bean counting.
Not math.
It's bean counting. And I felt like I need spectacles or something to, I don't know.
Andy,
it's just flying for me.
Andy, I am glad you had this criticism for this game because we've had this quote in our game group for a while, and it's the rules, Philip. It's because Philip said, why do we do this? And he wouldn't accept anything we said other than, Philip, it's the rules. Now we got Andy is too much math. Now, any game we don't like, we just go, too much math.
Well, to be fair, I think I'm actually quoting you, Daniel. I think you said it was too mathy earlier or something like that off screen. I think you said something. But
I alluded to it because we all heard about what you had said in front of Ryan Evans.
It's don't get hung up on my words about it being too mathy. I just don't think it's a very fun experience.
Okay,
just one more fulfillment. It's boring.
One more thing, real quick, is
Borophyll.
Is you said how it takes too long, and I gotta tell you, Andy was playing with his son in this foursome that we played with, and I don't remember ever telling his son what he had to do on his turn. But Andy I had to make sure he wasn't writing on the cards that you don't write on. I was making sure he was staying in his chair and behaving himself, and making sure that he was doing what everybody else was doing. You realize this is what we're doing now. We're putting our dice together. We're figuring out what we were. And so everybody's got their one fox done, and Andy's just starting on his. And so he gets it done. And so then he gets on your card, you get to get a benefit, when you get so many things. What's the first benefit Andy goes for? Well, let me make more foxes because I'm so quick at doing that. And so now it's double AP Andy time going on. So it only takes too long because of you, Andy. Everybody else was done, including your son.
Can we rename this game Foxes with Benefits?
If there's any actual math other than counting your dice in front of you. Yeah, I don't think there's any actual math in the game.
You don't even count them. You just put them together in shapes. There's no actual counting. I mean, I guess.
Well, you have to make sure you have enough that
I
you're supposed to roll.
You batched them, I guess you have to count. That's fair.
Yeah.
Is this becoming a trend for you, Andy?
Maybe. I didn't do very well in math, guys. And it's becoming very evident. Although it's funny because one of the games that I like the most, Heaven and Ale, you guys accused of just being a big math fest.
It is.
Well, partly that was because of Daniel, and he decided to change the rules where he had to use exponents and stuff.
Well, see, that's the problem. Is you played it with him, and he taught you wrong. So
correct.
I did. I remember my confidence. I was like, I saw the Matrix, guys. I figured out how to play this game, and I think I just broke it out. And he's like, yeah, you did it wrong.
Unfortunately, you saw the Matrix like Neo, and you just warped it to whatever you wanted.
Absolutely.
You thought you knew Kung Fu, but you did not.
There's an ongoing kind of inside joke between Daniel and I and a couple other people that are not on the show right now about I guess Randy, producer, he knows about this, about my smugness or whatever. There's no level of smugness that anyone's ever portrayed more than Daniel in that play of Heaven and Ale. It was like, I figured it out, guys. I got it.
I mean, I felt bad.
Okay, that doesn't seem right, but okay.
I mean, I destroyed you guys.
For those who don't remember and who are wondering what we're talking about, and you don't want to go back and watch the episode, if I remember correctly, you did it so that if a monk was activated, you activated every token around that monk.
Yes.
So there was this chain effect that gave you like bazillion things. And that is not how the game is played.
And I just got all the monks, and then the monks were activating other monks, and it was a monk party.
And the best part is he was like, I figured it out, guys. Well, yeah, who would have thought if one thing activates another and it activates another, that's good. Who would have thought of that?
and actually, I just said it wrong, too. If a monk is activated, it activates things around it, but it doesn't activate another monk that activates everything around it. That's, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I am usually pretty good at math because, as you guys remember, I created this segment called Board Game Karen, and it's been really exciting. But I do feel like there's just, unfortunately, I tend to get so many points out of that game. So there is some confusion about how it actually scores. Nah. So I just wanted to remind you guys how it scores.
But an unwillingness to try to fix it. Just, no, it's okay. We'll just go with it. We'll figure it out next time.
I fixed it. It's right here.
We've been working on the points and how this is all going to work, but let's just put it this way. If one of them gets it right, then I'll get like 3 points. And if they get it wrong, I'll get 4 points. And if Randy gets it right, then John will get 2 points. And if Chris does get it right, then Andy will get 3 points. But in the end, it's all going to even out. I promise. I guarantee it. But let's see what Board Game Karen actually is I am going to read off.
Gosh. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's about the way it worked.
Yep. Andy, by the way,
also our game of Heaven and Ale.
Yeah, I didn't catch your reaction to that live, Andy. That was fantastic. That was really good. I live, I never even noticed you being like, ah! That was fantastic. That was great.
Every now and then I pay attention.
You guys out there really like Board Game Karen, but I do have to call everybody out on this, and I'm going to call it out via Free Games Kids Teens. That's his name. And he says, on the third episode of Board Game Karen, he says, I don't think these guys wanted to play. I thought the last two were very obvious, and I don't even play that many games. So, calling you guys out right here.
Well, apparently.
Why are you all so bad at board game trivia?
Well, if I could just, speaking for myself.
Because we're only enthusiasts, we're not experts.
That's one reason.
We've said this from the very beginning.
That's one reason. But I am so bad at this game that I'll go back and watch the show several times and still not know what the game is you're talking about. So that's even worse. I've had the answers in my head recently, and I still don't. What is that again?
Open book
Then I
quiz,
hear my
still
answer.
failed.
I'm like, oh, well, I had to have been right. No, I was wrong. Oh, man. I can't. So.
Well, and also, John, I this one's a biggest leap that I've made here, but we got to talk about your Star Wars episode. We have a really good one from Brian B here. It says, John, it seems like a game needs to follow the script of one of the films in order for John to classify it as a Star Wars game. If that's true, then I guess Rebellion is the only Star Wars game in existence. That was our episode with our friend Rob Searing.
Yes.
And yeah, you declared you declared, I think, Outer Rim as not a Star Wars game.
Well, here's the thing. It was all just kind of a joke about Daniel, because he has this thing where he says something is a Christian adjacent game or a whatever adjacent game. And so I was like, well, it's really Star Wars adjacent. I was kind of saying it tongue in cheek, but then I was coming under so much fire, I felt like I had to defend myself. I'm like, well, yes, it's Star Wars adjacent, doggone it, because it doesn't actually happen inside where the movies were. It's stuff that happened somewhere else. So whatever. It's no, they were all Star Wars games, so to speak, but some of them are going to give you more of a Star Wars feel, in my opinion. That's basically what I was getting at, but I understand his objections with what I said.
Yeah, agreed. There's other Star Wars games that give more the Star Wars movies feel.
Yes.
But Outer Rim definitely hits the universe, on just out of the park. That game is fantastic. I really like that game. And
it definitely feels like the movies.
Well, I guess part of what I love about it is the gameplay, but it makes sense with the universe, all the things you can do, and very much there's it's good. It's good.
So the other thing I'd like to show you guys is our random tasks. If you haven't seen our random tasks, it's kind of a trend where we have a really clever segment, and then it is interrupted by our producer. Well, let's take a look at some of those segments that never actually were.
Oh.
Okay, for our next segment, each of you, I've given you each a monogrammed baseball bat that I've sent you. I hope you have it there in front of you. And
Maybe.
Oh, wait a second. I'm getting a message from our producer, Randy.
First segment, we're going to talk about a brand new game called Hanging Skeletons. In this game, it's all about finding the skeletons in everyone's closet. And it starts with us. We get to dive into Chris's skeleton closet, then Daniel's skeleton closet, and John's skeleton closet. And...
Hold on. I'm getting a message from the producer.
Oh.
All right, guys. It is time for... This is a game that I've talked about many times on the show. This is a game that I developed actually with my family one time at a lunch situation, and it's called Lemon in Your Eyes. It's where you get together and you... What?
Oh, did you get an orange?
Oranges.
Oh, orange. No. Well, that's
right.
a weird expansion. That's not very good.
No.
You want to go Lemon in Your Eyes?
Wait, guys. Hold on.
What is that?
Wait, I'm getting a message from our producer, Randy.
Oh.
All right, guys. I tell you what, I've been on a lot of different shows, and not once have I had the opportunity to break something really, really exciting with Insert Here. I mean, this is probably the biggest news I've ever had to release. I'm really...
Hey, Rob, hold on. I'm getting a message. It's from the producer.
All right, guys. In this segment, you will all witness one of my two talents I possess. And when I say I possess, I mean it's because it's the only one of the creepiest things you'll ever witness. You know how iguanas can make one of his eyes look left while the other looks right? Well, you guessed it. I can do that as well. It's a matter of dislocating your eye's vitreous body from the optic nerve.
Hey, Chris, wait, hold on. We're getting a message from the producer, Randy.
All right, guys. So this time we are going to start our newest segment here where we're going to work on our social media TikTok skills, and we're going to be part of the Michael J. Fox's favorite challenge, the Mannequin Challenge.
Wait.
That's right.
Wait, guys.
You stand.
Hold on. I'm getting a message from the producer.
We're back. And Chris, I have no idea what this is about, but it's your show, buddy.
Oh, it's time, people. It's time. Finally. You may have come here thinking we were playing Exploding Kittens. No. We're getting rid of those little devils. Come here, Fluffy. Come here.
Wait, guys.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm getting a message from the producer.
All right, there you go. Those are all the segments that were interrupted by our rude producer, Randy.
Man, we were going to get rid of them cats, man. And the seals, we were just gonna get rid of them.
We're going to have a whole episode of just missed segments.
Randy ruined it all. I really like my voice inflection. I'm come here, Fluffy.
Little devils.
Little devils. It looked like you're trying to. What can I say that I can get away with?
It really was. I was like, these words I can't say.
All right. Well, since we're on some clips that are pretty humorous, John, he has been known for some of the funniest segments on the show. So we are going to
unintentionally.
No, you put a lot of work into it.
Absolutely.
Like here's my favorite one. Maybe not the long-lasting joke, and we need to see a return of this guy. But this one, this one's my favorite.
I think this was already discussed a lot by, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this really famous board game comedian that was out in the early 2000s. And he had a whole bit on this. And his name was Jeff Cardboard Boxworthy. And he had a whole bit on this. I'm just going to do his bit real quick. And because he kind of clears this up, it goes like this. If the only cube-shaped components in your game are dice, it might be Ameritrash. If your game has a Marvel version, it might be Ameritrash.
It absolutely is.
If your game has more pages of meeple stickers than it does pages in the rule book, it might be Ameritrash. And if you spend more time agonizing over how to get all the pieces of your game back into the box than you do any actual decision during the gameplay, it might be Ameritrash. And finally, if the name of your game ends in opoly, it might be Ameritrash. I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that was our whole discussion. What is Ameritrash? And I just thought I should define it for everybody. I thought that worked pretty well.
Yeah, I really I applauded John after that. I was like, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed the play on words. The Jeff Boxworthy, that was fantastic.
I'm really surprised we didn't get more responses to that. You don't get it still.
But I'm not smarter than a fifth grader, so.
Oh, there you go.
All right, and the other one that John is famous for is a public service announcement that we all in our late ages need.
Well, before I get started, men, let me talk to you. Do you suffer from game length anxiety? GLA is very common in men over 40. They want to get the most out of their game night, and they're not sure if they have the stamina to stick it out. But unfortunately, there's no cure for GLA. You're going to be anxious when you see other people playing games and you're stuck in a 5-hour teach of some game you're not sure you even want to play. No, that's where I'm coming from. I have GLA. The funny part about that is, the funny part about that is I didn't even prepare that one. That was when you said something about game length or something. I was like, ooh, game length anxiety. I think I have that. And
that was on the fly?
Yeah, when it went to me, I just went into the game length anxiety.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Well done.
Usually on the fly is the best in this show, you know.
So board game Jesus may get the most like shock value, but I think GLA is actually the best like original thing that we've come up with on this show. Like GLA is really funny.
I've been begging Andy to do an actual commercial to put in the middle of an episode of that.
We'll do it.
I like it.
So how is your GLA? Is any better?
Oh, it's still there.
You're working on it.
Oh, it's still there. It's there in a big way.
That's TMI.
That's TMI. No, TMI is what you get in the 4-hour teach of a game. That's what that is.
Oh, well done, sir.
Just tell me how I play. Let's go. Don't need all that information.
All right. Well, we got to see two things from John that were very impressive. But there's one thing that happened on our show very early on, and it was probably the most impressive thing just for the sheer lack of not caring about the repercussions. And no, it's not something Andy said off the cuff.
Sounds surprised.
Instead, it was one of our intros. Check this out.
We have to do a little something called
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Oh, yes, it is. It is time to play the game. And what is the game? Around the Board is all about debating different topics within tabletop gaming and for... Wow.
Very good, Chris.
I had to do it because so for those of you who are new to the show or like that, we play the Time to Play the Game by Triple H and stuff because I'm a big wrestling fan. And I remember we were first like in production, just like starting to do the show and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, when we like, because we talked about, hey, it's gonna be segments. We're gonna like each segment's gonna be a game, so to speak, or whatever. And we're like, hey, it's time to play the game. Like, well, if we do that, we have to do that drop from Triple H. Like, we just absolutely have to. So he famously, as part of his intro, will like get up on the ropes and he like opens the water bottle, drinks it, dumps it on himself, and then like blasts it all over the sky. And so we joked about it for a while that I should do it, and so one day I finally just was like, I'm doing this, and went full on. And it was crazy. Like, it actually did not. I thought it was gonna make a way bigger mess in my room than it did, but it was like the water evaporated. It was amazing.
Was your mom upset?
That's what I was gonna say.
She was coming in to tell me about the laundry, and
yes.
Had to ask me about where my clothes were, but
and who made this mess?
I love it.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, we've done a lot of funny things on the show. I hope you've enjoyed it throughout the past 2 years. Continue to let us know what we've done that you guys are impressed by, what you guys like. What do you want to see more of? We would love to hear that. And we also like compliments. We actually really like people who are disparaging towards us. Hansa really likes to find those comments and read them. So hey, unload, please. Tell us how wrong we are. But if you do write a novel, we probably won't read it because, time restraints and stuff. I mean, I'll read it, just not on the show. Hansa, he doesn't have time for that. So just make sure you make them short and concise. But I do want to point out that we actually, despite all of this, we actually do have fans of the show and people who actually like our show. So I just want to read a few of these just to maybe these other guys haven't actually seen them. I don't think you guys view the comments quite as closely as I do. So here's some encouragement for you all, and here you go. This is from Kevin Lewis. He on episode 37 with Joe Bragg. He says, my first time at this channel, Joe Bragg referred me to check it out. I am in the hot seat position portion, and this video is so much fun and refreshing. Love the format, topics, and energy. Out of context, that was really bad.
Yes.
we have the hot seat. It's where we ask our guest questions and rapid fire. But we got rid of that segment because no one liked it.
This guy did, apparently.
I liked it.
You liked it? Okay, well.
You can only subscribe once, Andy.
Okay.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what drop is that we use, Andy?
That's right.
Oh, I don't even know. I still have
You missed your cue.
Oh, gosh. Where is it? That's not it.
No, not that one.
That's not it. That's not it.
Real hot.
And why not?
There it was.
There it is.
Right now.
That's
Now he
hot.
uses it for hot or not.
Yeah.
Part of that
which
joke
also
is that
works.
actually that's the abridged version that we finally
It
got
is.
to. But like early
Yeah.
on, it felt like it was like 7 minutes long, and so. that was
Only 30
really
seconds
low.
or so.
It was really long.
All right, we got another one from episode 14, and that is Between Two Cities. Remember when we did that and we gave that game
Yeah.
away because we had a philosophy in the show, and that's if we get a review copy, we're going to give it away. And Mr. Mike Wilson, he's actually Mike from Game Night, if you guys know him.
Mm-hmm.
He says, good job passing on reviewed games. I always enjoyed the different taste of the players and honesty, positive and negative. So, yeah, when we review games, we like to try to make sure we're divided so that you can see both sides. That's why Chris hating every game that we review on the show is actually a benefit. Because if you have an old grumpy man in your group, you will know how this game is going to come across to that person.
Every show needs a villain.
Exactly.
That's right. He's the heel.
I do it for you, people. I do it for you.
That's right. And then one of I called him our super fan because he commented like from episode 1. He was there from the beginning, but it's Troy Hearing is his name. And he says another out of the park episode from episode 10, our Halloween episode. He goes, they keep getting better.
Wow.
And I have to agree with you, Troy. I know that we have been doing this now for 2 years and we finally got a good flow. And I think every time we hang up our Zoom call, I walk away going, that was really good. That was
a
really
show.
enjoyable.
Well, that makes one of us. Good.
Yeah, that was definitely a show.
That was a show.
Yes.
That was a performance.
All right. Well, and then before we leave, guys, I do want to thank you to what I call our super fans. I know I call Troy our super fan, but there are some other ones as well. And these are the people who comment on like all of our shows and they watch every episode that I'm aware of. And that is Sax Mason. He was one of the early ones. I don't know who he is, so that's great that a rando found us and watched. So thank you, Sax.
Watch,
the
it's
original
not a rando.
Maverick.
It's probably somebody you know or something.
Yeah, I know. It's just like it's my mom. I'm like, dang it, I knew it. The
My mom
original
actually
Maverick.
kept tabs on me.
Yeah,
That's
where
right.
it was.
So I knew about that water in the basement.
Exactly.
We have the original Maverick. He's been following us since episode 35, and he's been giving us some really great compliments on it. Tara, she's from our game night as well. Joe Coleman, he's another one of our friends who's been watching it from day one. Kelly, we also got to thank Kelly. She's always engaged and comments as often as possible. And of course, Red Brian. Now, funny thing about Red Brian, he only comments when I insult him. So about probably 4 times I've commented about him in a scenario that I've been in with him, and every single time he's like, "Hey, that's me. Why are you talking about me?" Which then tells me he watches this show.
Thank you, Red Brian.
Red
Keep
Brian.
it up, man. Keep it up. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, is there anything that you want to add or say or do? I know I've been kind of leading this behind the curtain, guys. I kind of told the others that I was just going to do this, and I was just going to talk, and hopefully you guys feel inspired to comment. And they all said, sure, whatever, I don't care.
I
just showed up for the paycheck.
There you go.
Just showed up for the paycheck.
So I'll stop talking, and tell you guys take over if you need to.
One thing real quick, I thought it was funny that when we were approaching our 50th episode, I said, you know what would be really cool for the 50th episode? Let's go back and show some old clips and we can comment on them, and it would be, kind of fun thing to do. And pretty much everybody, mostly Daniel, that's a terrible idea. We wouldn't do that. That's awful. Nobody was going to want to watch that. So I love that when it was Daniel's idea. I'm just going to do this, guys. You guys show up and I'm going to run it.
Let it lay fallow for a couple episodes. Let everyone forget, and then slide in for the win.
He thought my old brain would forget, but I didn't.
In fairness, guys, we joke around that Andy has ADHD. I probably have ADHD as well, and one of the ways that manifests is that if you tell me something or I do something and my heart's not in it, I'm like whatever. But as soon as I think of the idea, I'm like, boom, I'm going to do this. So someone suggested doing this. Actually, it was Topher, our friend Topher. He suggested doing this. And within 30 minutes, I picked all the clips that we saw today.
Oh, my God. That's
Wow.
hilarious.
I did all of this in like an hour.
And
That
there's
makes
so
sense.
much.
You
there's
have
so
way
much
more
you
respect for
missed.
Topher than you do for me, so that makes way more sense.
There's so much you missed. There's a clip that I would have liked to include it. In fact, I think we can pull it out right now. What?
Maybe
check
it'll be
this-
in post.
Check this out. That's my favorite Daniel clip. I think you know what it was.
Are you making me have to go back and find one?
I am.
Yes.
It's this.
Oh, gosh. The Western episode?
And get ready here. We got a heck of a show for you. It's time for Around the Board. I'm your host, Andy Barnett. With me, as always, Daniel Connors, John Theismann, and Chris Thomason. Howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
Yee!
I
Felt like I was doing
uh,
the Gangnam style, and also like I was like stripping. But I feel like that was Cowboys, but I don't know. I don't know my Cowboys.
I think you have a different type of cowboy in mind.
That sounds like a
everybody.
midnight cowboy kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
Well, I had to do research on how to dress, and that's what I looked at. So did I pull it off?
Pretty
It
well.
sounds like you're
like-
trying to.
You are
kinda
what we
look like-
call a dude. You're a dude.
You kind of look like Marty McFly's older relative. in Back
Yeah,
to the Future 3.
yeah.
Ah, from part 3.
That's it. Correct.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Nice. That's what I was going for. Marty McFly
What?
specifically.
Well, then you did it.
Can I do this, fellas? This is going to drive Daniel nuts, but I found a little soundtrack for us for this.
Oh, boy.
I
What
feel
is
like this
that?
should be going-
Rolling, though the streams are swollen, keep them doggies rolling, rawhide.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Rain and wind and
Anyway,
Very nice.
Gotta like Rawhide.
Absolutely. Gotta love some rawhide.
Rawhide. Are we back to the strippers?
What?
What is up with you today?
What?
My gosh.
This is a family show, Daniel.
Sorry.
What the crap? Hey, question for you guys.
Wow.
Make one mistake and you never let it down.
I'm gonna be honest. I looked pretty good in that episode. Like I remember getting ready for that show, the Western episode, and putting on like the Western shirt and the hat, and I was like, I'm not a cowboy. I mean, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not farm life. Ain't me. No, not hate. If you live on a farm, awesome, but just is not my life. And I put that on. I was like, I actually look really good in this. I was really
I think we all look pretty dapper in that
Was
one.
it the Western episode that happened in?
I think
I thought
so.
that's what
Great
you said.
Western
Yeah.
Trail episode. Yep.
Because we did the parody Great Western Tale?
No. See, why'd you have to go there?
It just goes a little too far.
Gosh.
And in fairness, that was me doing a lasso. A lasso, guys. It's a lasso.
I thought this had to do with the game Night Shift somehow, for some reason.
No, that was way before that.
Okay.
This is all stuff we can't have on the show now.
All right.
last
Gosh,
2
Andy,
minutes.
just shut up.
I don't know. It's fair. I think we can keep it. We'll discuss it in post.
There you
We'll
go.
see if it makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Chris, anything you want to add?
No, I mean it's been a lot of fun. Like we joke about, like I said before, it's just us turned up to 11. This really is kind of who we are. We just kind of trying to make it a little more entertaining, but it's been fun just because like I said, this is just who we are. Like the kind of conversations we have here are the same conversations we have on our regular game nights. Like it's just us being who we are and talking about board games. So if you ever meet us at a con, you probably will not be surprised. Like sometimes you meet like the people that the tastemakers, celebrities and stuff like that, you meet them and they're completely different people. Like we are as advertised. So
Yeah, we're not going to be a lot different. That's for sure.
right.
One more clip before we go. And to me, it was my favorite intro. It is one that I think that 50 years from now we'll look back on and be like, yeah, I'm glad we did that. And let's take a look at it
Maybe you guys
right
will.
now.
This episode is brought to you by the 902 and the number 20.
Welcome to Around the Board, a show where 4 board game enthusiasts discuss board game topics and news. Today's show begins with another great game debate, after which we mix it up with trade shelf play. Trailing that, we talk trash, then we'll bring it home with a Grand Slam topic.
Man, they were
The
so
top
young.
selling board games
I know.
of all time.
Crazy.
Now,
Blake is twice that size now.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. Blake
John Price,
alone.
Chris Thomason,
Crazy.
and Andy Barnett. Join us as we go around the board.
Hey, Andy, you're looking pretty different there today.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it's because I'm wearing sunglasses. I just got back from
Joey
Hollywood.
just stares in the
That
corner
must
the
be
whole
it.
time.
I tried
Showing
to
off a
like
little.
get
I have
him to
my
move and
Hollywood
get more
look going.
centered. And
Actually,
I've
got
always
back from-
heard that Hollywood
Yeah, whatever.
changes people, but I didn't expect anything quite like this.
It's the fountain of youth, baby.
I mean, they do all act like children out there, so that does.
They do. They do. No, I just got back from TFCon, which I know we talked about it on previous shows. I went to one in Chicago, but I went to the one this time in Los Angeles, which was cool.
Andy, for those
What?
that don't know, what is TF?
Oh, TF, that would stand for Transformers.
Whoa, is
Yeah.
this a Transformers podcast?
No, but it should be maybe. Look at what I
I mean, we
got.
definitely-
A fan gave me this. Look at this. This is so cool. Look at this. This thing's awesome.
Whoa.
Oh wow, that is
Cool.
pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That reflective?
Yeah, it's reflective. It's a green reflective Maximal logo. Oh, sorry.
wow.
I'm making you guys dizzy. I better put this down. Were you guys fans of Transformers growing up?
Oh, I loved Beast Wars. It was one of my
Okay.
favorite cartoons.
I was too old for Transformers.
Well, you probably remember Generation 1 Transformers, right, John? G1? No?
I mean, I remember them. I didn't play with
Okay.
Transformers as a kid.
But no, Alan Oppenheimer, he voiced a Transformer, but he also voiced Skeletor in He-Man.
Ah.
Very iconic character. So the story goes like this, right? All of us actors get to go back into this green room area where we have lunch and stuff. And so we're sitting at a table. I brought my son with me, brought Elijah with me. And we're sitting next to Alan Oppenheimer, and he offers Elijah a cookie from his lunch. He didn't want to eat the cookie. So he said, "You want this cookie, Elijah?" And I said, "Elijah, never take a cookie from Skeletor." And he said, "No." And then Oppenheimer, who's 93 years old, mind you,
Wow.
breaks
Yeah.
into his Skeletor laugh and goes, he does that whole thing. It was awesome.
Oh man, that's
Oh
awesome.
my gosh. That's
it was
cool.
iconic, man. It was
Did
so
you
cool.
That's super
did you geek
cool.
out?
Hold
No,
on.
that's as weird as what we're experiencing right now. So what if we just get back to normal?
Everybody, repeat after me. Whoa! What was that?
Oh, wow. Well, I feel different.
Oh, I feel like I gained like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the camera, Chris.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty iconic.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was our April Fool's episode. That was, I think before we even started the show, I was like, I really want to do an episode where our kids just pretend to be us. I think that'd be funny.
It was fun. So. It was like, it's funny. Like, it was only been a couple of years ago. Man, they look so young.
I know.
I know.
Crazy how different
they grow up so quick these days.
Oh,
I know.
Crazy kids.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have. You guys want to say anything else or take us out, or what do we want to do here?
I just want to say thanks to all our wonderful viewers out there, and remember to tap and like and subscribe as we try to grow the program here and have some giveaways in the future, as we talked about earlier in the show. When we get the first 200, we get to 1,200, we're going to give away games 1,400, 1,600, 1,800. So we got games galore to give away, and we're glad you're on board, and we're glad to see you around the board. Be sure and check us out on all the social media, including our Facebook group. You can send us an email anytime, mail@aroundtheboard.net. And yeah, it's been a blast, and excited to see where this goes next. So we'll see you next time around the board.
Or there you go.
Thanks, guys. Man, thank you so much for checking out the show.
There's that Brian Baru when we get up to 8,000 subs. Oh, 1,600 subs.
Yep.
We'll do that one. I haven't played it for a while.
It's right here.
Some of my regular group doesn't like that one.
I'm calling it right now. I'm going to include a soft cover of my favorite role-playing game as well, Wind Power.
What a threat.
I know.
What a
You'll have to read.
All right, Hansa's here. I'm ready to read all the comments on our comment episode. I'm so glad we got to 1,000 subscribers, and I have so many comments to read. Oh, where is everybody? Oh, you guys are done. Oh, you didn't invite me, the guy who reads comments, to the comments only show. Oh, no, that's fine. Everything's fine.